So, something happened. Valve announced 3 new hardware on the Steam page: the Gabe Cube, the Steam controller, and the Steam Frame. The copium and hopium finally pays off. Probably. Even quite literally. Next copium wave will be Half-Life 3. Anyways, we're mostly gonna talk about the Steam Frame here, as this is one of the 3 hardwares from Valve we've all been waiting for, and honestly, I'm not really sold. Or not yet. I'll explain later. Also, if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Paz and I create content all around VR and VRChat. Let's get into the actual stuff now. If you can put the Steam Frame into one sentence, or if you'd have to explain it into one sentence, it's basically if the Valve Index and the Quest 3 had a baby and Steam Deck being an affair in between. It has a lot of everything in some sort of way. The Steam Frame looks absolutely amazing. The weight distribution seems to be very solid, and from the first looks from Linus Tech Tips and other VR review channels, it seems to also fit very comfortably on your head, with its weight being at around 400 grams. That's really solid for such a headset, knowing that its predecessor, the Valve Index, weighted at around double the size at 800 grams. The focus of the Steam Frame is wireless PC VR gaming using a Wi-Fi dongle that you put into your PC. I actually think that this is pretty good, even though I love wired PC VR, and knowing that the Steam Frame also has eye tracking, even though we're not sure if it will actually work in VRChat, is still pretty cool and will be used for foveated streaming. I actually think that Valve is focusing on the normal consumer here, not already existing VR enthusiasts, which is pretty cool and a good way to expand on the idea of virtual reality. Wireless VR and even non-VR gaming will definitely be possible with this headset. But let's talk about the controllers really quick, because they definitely caught my attention. The controllers that come with the Steam Frame look eerily similar to a certain headset, though it uses hand tracking and has a bunch of more buttons than what the Valve Index has. One thing that still confuses me is hand tracking and grip button? Maybe I'm just a little stupid, but it does mix my head around. This is probably why I said that this is for the everyday normal consumer. The controllers also use AA batteries like the Meta Quest 3 controllers for up to 40 hours of play, which is pretty cool. Though I love using the USB-C to load my controllers, but that's just preference. Audio is supposedly as good, if not even better, than on the Valve Index, which is absolutely wild. Valve has always been cooking with the audio output and input, specifically with microphones too, so that's definitely a huge plus. I mean, I'm using the Valve Index microphone right now in the Valve output, and it's really good. You can also use the Steam Frame as a standalone headset, and that's all I know, and I actually have not seen any footage when it comes to that and how it actually works in standalone mode. PC VR definitely works per Wi-Fi dongle, which is supposedly run flawlessly, and I think that's a huge plus for this headset. The Steam Frame also comes with a battery, since it's standalone, that will run for around 2 to 3 hours. Though you can still connect it to a charger and run it that way too, but this would kinda kill the idea of wireless capability, right? Okay, but honestly, here's where things get really interesting. The Steam Frame runs SteamOS 3 based on Arch Linux. Now, why is that so important? This is important because that means better performance, lower latency, and faster boot times, especially for VR streaming and standalone usage. SteamOS 3 on Arch Linux makes the Steam Frame independent, optimized, compatible, efficient, and future-proof. That's really cool stuff, and also knowing that people, and specifically modders, will make this headset as customizable as possible is wild. But I have to say something VRChat related here. I think for VRChat, and generally speaking social VR, I don't really think that Valve intended this to be a headset for that niche. The tracking of and for the headset and controllers will probably be really good, but that also means that base stations and possibly base station based body trackers won't be able to work with the Steam Frame. But it will definitely be possible to use IMU based body trackers like Slime VR, or even EMF tracking like, for example, Flux Pose. You could technically make base stations work by putting a tracker on top of the Steam Frame and calibrating it correctly. There are a few things that gave me mixed feelings after the hype of seeing this headset finally being announced. And these are, like I mentioned before, the compatibility with base station based controllers and or trackers, the use case of eye tracking in VRChat and if that's even gonna be possible, and the price. Yes, we still have no idea how much this headset costs, so where's the price? And more so, what even is the Steam Frame gonna cost? From my research and articles I read, some say the Steam Frame will cost around 600 to 1000 US dollars. Some say it will be less than the Valve Index, so this seems somewhat accurate. There are a lot of assumptions, rumors and guesses on the price and compatibility when it comes to the Steam Frame, so nothing is certain. But I do think that since Valve is actually saving some production costs with, for example, not adding base stations, the price will probably be around the marks I mentioned before. But one thing is definitely certain for this headset and for the future of VR. The Steam Frame will, and I can probably say this with confidence, 100% have a positive impact on virtual reality. If it actually is what I think it is, a good, comfortable, standalone and PC VR compatible as well as hopefully affordable VR headset for VR consumers, then this will move mountains and change the VR landscape forever. Again, the possibilities to mod this headset will be huge. I'm still out in hopium that it will be backwards compatible and specifically compatible with base stations. But again, nothing is certain. Everything I go through here is partly rumor and mostly facts on what we have on the Steam store page. But again, I'm pretty sure that once the Steam Frame is actually out on the market, VR will have a big influx of new users that can comfortably wear a headset that truly oozes quality. And that's all from my side. I've got some mixed opinions, but overall, I'm really optimistic for what Valve is building here. There are still questions I have regarding things I already mentioned, but I'm hoping for them to be answered by next year. We'll see if Valve can deliver on all that, but for now it looks like the next big leap for virtual reality. You know what you should do? Subscribe to this channel and like this video for more VR hardware related content as well as VRChat related content in the future. And as always, take care in the virtual as well as in reality. Ciao ciao!